Hello, students. This is Dr. Henry, and I'm your instructor for OAD 101 Beginning Keyboarding. This particular video is designed to give you some quick tips related to the next phase of our course. I'm going to quickly go to the course orientation, and I'm going to go to the shortcut for the course calendar just to kind of show you where we are and what we've been doing. Those of you who have been following the weekly assignment list in our particular course, from the first week, we have started with lesson 1, and lessons 1 through 25 have focused on helping students learn to keyboard using the touch key method. So we've learned all of the alphabetic keys, the numeric keys, we've learned symbols, number pads, special characters. All of those things were covered in lessons 1 through 25. And so now we're going into our next phase for this course. So from lesson 26 all the way through the end of the term, we're going to also add to our focus. So in addition to strengthening your keyboarding, speed and accuracy, we're also going to now begin to add in Word features. So Microsoft Word features that are used in Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word is a commonly used word processing program. It's used in many schools and businesses and offices. All right, and that starts with lesson 26. So I'm going to go to lesson 26, and once you get a chance, you can go to our SAM assignment section, and the way that students normally access our assignments is you would go to the folder for that particular week, you would expand it, and then you would have shortcuts to each individual assignment, which you still can do. However, for this particular video, I'm going to go to the SAM course link, which is the first link under the SAM assignment section, and it's going to take us to the full SAM course where you can see all of the course assignments and the ebook. So if you click here, it should take you to our SAM course. Now, it might land on the activity calendar, but in order for you to see what I'm talking about in this video, you'll need to click on the activity list, and you might even have to select our course section if it's not already selected, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Hopefully your first item should be the electronic version of the textbook, and it is listed as Keyboarding and Word Processing Complete Course, and it has 110 lessons, although for beginning we're only going to do the first half of those, and it should be labeled as a reading type assignment. That's how you know that it's the ebook. All of the other assignments should be labeled as keyboarding assignments. So what I'm going to do is ask you to click on the book, because we'll need, whenever you get a chance, I'm going to click on it because I want to show you some things using the ebook, and it should open like this. And then I'm also going to go to that lesson 26, which starts the study of Microsoft Word. So I'm going to go down to lesson 26, and it's already expanded, and it's labeled as Getting Started with Word Drill. So I'm going to click on it, and it should tell you how many attempts you have and how many incorrect actions it will allow per task. You do need to read this information so that you understand how you're being scored, and then you can start or launch the actual assignment. It's going to open in the simulated SAM window. I'm going to keep mine minimized because I'm working with different screens, but you can always maximize yours so you can see the full screen. But what I wanted to show you all is for these word drills, okay, they are in order. This particular one for lesson 26 has 12 tasks for you to do, and this little icon here, which looks like 3 lines, is the menu button, so you can kind of get a preview of what are we going to cover in this particular assignment. Also, it should be labeled. So task number 1, which if we go to the menu, says create a document, lesson 26 drill 1. And that's also here where it says task, so you'll know which one you're on. You're on number 1, and that one involves creating a document and, of course, using Microsoft Word. So If you are familiar with Microsoft Word and you've worked in it before, maybe you had a class in it and you already know what to do, you don't necessarily need to go to the ebook if you understand how to do everything it's asking you to do in the instruction section. But this particular quick tips video is designed for students who, if you're not that familiar with Word, or if there's a chance that you come to an instruction that you don't know how to do, I want you to understand how do you get the information you need to successfully complete your task and get all of your points. So the first thing is that each task is labeled with what lesson and what drill it is in the ebook. So if I had never used Microsoft Word before, I need to go and complete lesson 26 in the book so that I'll have the knowledge I need to do this drill. So some of you I know may already know how to do this, but let's say, for example, you don't know how to do this task or any one of the others. What you're going to use is the lesson identifiers to go to that lesson to learn what you need to be successful inside of this drill. So lesson 26, drill 1 is where I need to go. So I already have the ebook open. And so you all may not know this, but lesson 26 is inside of level 2. So I'm going to go to level 2, and then it is inside of module 3. And you can see this is where Word Essentials starts. So I'm going to click on module 3. And because I've been inside the ebook several times, it's just going to start on probably a page that I left off on or that I was on before. But for you, it should start from the beginning. So I'm going to go to this table of contents icon, and it takes me back to the beginning of module 3. And it's, as you can see, inside of module 3, it starts with lesson 26, which is where we are in that drill, but also it goes through module 3, goes all the way from lesson 26 all the way through 31. Okay, so if I was not familiar with how to do that task that we just looked at, I need to go to lesson 26 and I need to read lesson 26 in the ebook. Or I need to search for the drill 1 so that I know what I'm doing. So in lesson 26, this is the first page, it tells you everything that you're going to learn in this particular lesson. So what things in Word am I going to learn? It tells me what they are, and then it tells me, go to the next page so I can see what I'm doing. Now, I will say this about the ebook. You have information most times that goes from left to right. So you go to the right to go to the next page. But if you see a scroll bar, that lets you know that there's additional information at the bottom of the page. So you don't want to just only use this. You want to look out for a scroll bar because you could be missing some information that's critical. So make sure you scroll from top to bottom first before you go left to right so you don't miss anything. So this is lesson 26, and if you are not familiar with Word, I would encourage you to read through this because this is the lesson 26 content that's telling you how to do the things that are going to be required of you in that word drill. So it talks about how to launch Word, and then it might show you more than one way to do that. So here it talks about using the taskbar to launch Word. Now it does have additional information. So whenever you see discover, or if you see something called tips, I think, or something, let me see if I can find one for you. Yeah, if you see tips, these are just additional information to help your understanding, but you don't necessarily have to read that part. You can for enrichment, but I know sometimes students are trying to think or trying to focus on what do I need to do my assignment. Well, you want to focus on all the content areas, and then you can skip the discovers and the tips unless you want to know that additional information. But most times it'll tell you what you're learning, and then it'll tell you several different ways to do that one thing. So launching Word, you can use the taskbar, you can use the start screen, for example, and all of this is dedicated to that first drill that is telling you to do, if you remember. And so the next part that you'll need to do in that drill is open a Word screen. It's going to tell you how to do that. You need to open a blank document. It's telling you how to do that. So if you don't know how to do these things, you need to read through that. It talks about managing Word files, using the File tab, creating and saving a new folder, And then finally, so we're in lesson 26, and then notice this drill one. If you are to compare this part in the ebook to the training tutorial task that we were just looking at, it would be telling you to do the same things. So all of this is lesson 26, drill one, and it has 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these match what's in the ebook drill one. So this is kind of a preview of what you will be doing. But all of these steps that you're doing in the drill was just taught to you here inside of lesson 26. So I wanted to do this little quick tips video so that you would know that if you're doing a word drill in the SAM simulated window and you come to something that you don't know how to do, well, there are indicators that tell you where to go to learn how to do that particular thing so that you can get your points inside of the simulation window. And so in our particular SAM ebook, there are 2 ways that keyboarding assignments can be done. You can use the ebook or the printed textbook version. You can use the book, the textbook, because here in what I just showed you, the lesson 26 drill 1, this is telling you how to do drill 1 if you were going to do it outside of the SAM simulated window. But for us, all of ours are going to be inside of the SAM simulated window, so you won't have to use a flash drive or anything like that. You are just going to demonstrate what you have learned inside of the SAM simulated word window, if that makes sense. So be aware that the same drills that are in the ebook are the drills that are inside of your SAM simulation. And if you come to a task that you don't know how to do, then use the lesson identifier. So the lesson and the drill will tell you exactly where you need to go in the ebook to learn how to do that particular step. Of course, if you have questions, concerns, or comments later, you can always reach out to me via email. My email is shenry@lawsonstate.edu. Thanks for watching. Bye.